Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, for today, we will be covering on a new topic, which is a very interesting topic. Okay, the topic is about credit and also economic growth. Now, as I mentioned before, that in our previous class, okay, which is risk management class. So when we talk about credit, when the bank increase the credit or the interest rate, so the economy will actually becoming slower, right? But if the interest rate is lower, the economy is going faster and faster, growing faster. All right. So let's see. Okay, what is it actually true here? Okay, firstly, we have to define what is credit. Okay, the term credit has different meaning to different people. Okay, credit involves lending activities. So this is the first one. The first keyword is a lending activity, credit, right? Not debit and credit in accounting. It's different. Okay, debit and credit is accounting. Debit is a debit side, and credit is credit side. Now this is almost a little bit similar. Okay, but credit is in term of finance is about lending process. Okay, lending process. So to give credit means to finance. Okay, to finance directly or indirectly, right? Directly or indirectly, and then the expenditure of others against future repayment. So when you give credit, okay, it become expenditure of others who borrow money from you, right? It becomes expenses, okay, in your income statement, right? Expenses after earning before interest and tax, then you minus interest, then you get earning before tax. Remember, in your income statement, okay, you have revenue, cost, right? Cost of goods sold, then you get gross profit. Then after you get gross profit, you minus expenses, then you get net profit. Okay, or earning after tax, right? Sorry, earning before interest and tax, right? And then you minus interest, then you get earning before tax. You minus tax, you get earning after tax, or EAT, which is you makan. Lambat lah you earning. Tu punchline saya tu. Alright, EAT, earning after tax. Eat. Oh, lambat kan. Earning after tax, eat kan, eat. Baru boleh makan. Alright, so direct credit, okay, direct credit, what is direct credit? Is financing such as overdraft and loan given by the bank to the customer. This is direct, right? Indirect, credit facility granted by a trade to a customer. Okay, so this is direct, this is direct. Indirect. Okay, ini involved with trade. So, for example, letter of credit, banker's guarantee. Okay, so this is all under trade finance. Okay, trade finance. All right. Okay. Okay, now let's look at the source of production. Okay, labor. Okay, labor, our source of production, right? So we have to pay wages and salary. Capital. Okay, so capital, we have what we have to pay in terms of money, okay, and credit, right? It is in terms of money and credit. And then, so you have to pay, their income is in terms of interest or dividend, okay, if it is equity, right? Land, then you have to pay rental, rent. Okay, entrepreneur, you need profit. Okay, so this is the source of production, and the source of production, we need what would be the justification, right, of getting that in return, okay, for you to get that particular thing. For example, you want to get labor, you have to pay salary. You want to get capital, you have to pay interest or dividend. You want to have land, you have to pay rent, or maybe you have to buy the land. If you want to have the entrepreneur, the one who actually will be managing the what you call it the company, then they want to have profit. So profit sharing, for example. Okay, all right. Now let's look at the role of credit in economic growth. Okay, the role of credit in economic growth. Okay, the role of credit in economic growth can be explained, right, from okay the spending of the government, from investment spending, from the from the private spending, okay, investment, and also from the consumer spending. Okay, this can be gained from here. Whereas this is a formula equation. Whereas M is the quantity of money, and V is the velocity of money, and P is the price level, and Y is the real income of output. So MV equal PY. Okay, this is the formula. So how you want to get this formula? Okay, quantity of money, where do you get quantity of money, right? Where do you get that numbers? Okay, the numbers actually you can get the numbers from the central bank for the M, right? Velocity also the same. Velocity is how frequent the money, what we call it, move, okay, in the market, right? How fast, right? Okay, and the price is the price level, okay, of the money itself. Okay, you can use probably the I've just now. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's still connecting, right? Okay, now let's continue on to this. Okay. All right. So we are looking at the investment spending and also the consumer spending. So this side is the consumer spending. This one side we can call it the investment spending. All right. Okay, now let's look at the credit and investment spending. Okay, credit, okay, you go for investment spending, then you get the GDP growth. Growth, normally we use a proxy of gross domestic product. Tak ada. Ni. Okay. Ada dah. Okay. So when we give credit, so we have more money for investment, right? Then we have GDP growth. Okay, higher the credit, higher investment spending, higher GDP. The same as consumer spending. Okay, higher credit, okay, higher consumer spending, then you have higher GDP growth. Okay, now if you have this higher credit, normally it depends on the monetary policy, right? So monetary policy is interest rate, right? So if you have interest is high, what happened to your credit? Credit will be lower. Okay, so what happened to consumer spending? Lower. And then what happened to the GDP growth? Lower. Okay, if you reduce I, okay, you reduce the interest, what happened to credit? Credit, okay, will be increased. Consumer spending increase, GDP increase. So that's is the simple one, right? So it's actually related to our class in risk management and also with this credit management. All right. Okay. Now look at credit and money supply. Okay. We look at the simple deposit multiplier and the money multiplier. Okay. Simple deposit money multiplier and the money multiplier. All right. Now look at the simple deposit multiplier. Bank A, we have Bank A, Bank B, Bank C, Bank D, E, F. So total all banks here, and then we have change in deposit here, change in loan, and change in reserve. Okay, this is simple deposit multiplier, saying that, okay, now you have plus 100 deposit here. But you can only give 90 million loans, because 10 million you have to put in the reserve. Okay, you have to put as in the reserve. Okay, Federal Reserve, the Bank Negara Reserve. So let's say 10%. So this is 90 plus 10, you get 100. The same as Bank B. Bank B, the deposit is a bit smaller. Okay, about 90. All right. So he can give out loans 81 million, and he has they have to save or reserve 9 million. It goes on for Bank C, D, E, F, right? So all total is 1,000, and this is 900, and this is 100. So 9 plus 100 equal to 1,000. So this is a simple deposit multiplier. Okay, it started only from what? From 100. This one. The money start from 100 only. So this 100 give up loans. Okay, give up as loan. And this loan people deposit in Bank B. Okay, then this Bank B give up loan 81 million. Right? This 81 million people get money, right? Oh, I already have money. Deposit in bank. Right? And then the Bank C, right, give out loans 72.9. And then it is like that. So your money is multiplied to 1 billion. Okay, you see the bank start with only 100. And then the money multiplies. That's why when the money, faham tak? Faham? Do you understand? Right, it start with only 100, but it become 1,000. Okay? Asas ratus. Okay, this is money multiplier. Okay, this is a simple deposit multiplier. See, any banks can multiply money today by doing this. So if you look at this, this is almost how many percent? Okay, it depends. How you want to calculate that is very simple. You look at the what is the percentage of the federal the reserve that they have to keep. Okay, then you can actually just take 100, you divide by 10, right? And you get 1,000. Right? Okay. So the money multiplier is K equal to M, the money over the reserve. So the money is actually is K multiplied with R. Okay, apa benda ni kan? Ni terbalik je mula-mula you have K equal to M over R, right? Okay. But if you want to get M, okay, so you just multiply this with, so M equal to, oops, dari equal ni mana nak, oh cannot function. Okay, like this, M equal to, okay, K R. Okay, cantik kan? Right. I think I need to buy a pen that I can write so easy. Right. Okay, now let's look at credit and inflation. I've mentioned to you, okay, when the economy grows too fast, it creates inflation, right? Let's look at the equation. Where do inflation comes from? Right. Okay, now just notice this one. Right? This is P, which is price. Okay, price. How do you calculate the price? Last time I mentioned about CPI, the Consumer Price Index, which is a basket of goods that you buy every month for food, okay, for your groceries, your everything, your education, your everything in a basket. And then we get CPI, the Consumer Price Index. So it's a good of things, including medicine, okay, including also hospitalization and accommodation, right, and so on. Okay, there are about six items there. Okay, 6 subgroups, right? So this is the formula of MV equal to PY, right? MV equal to PY. So how we want to actually look? Hello? Yeah, okay. Tak apalah, take lah, ambil je lah. Ambil je lah, saya ambil je lah. Ambil. Pick up je lah. Besok ke apa ke nanti. Sama lah, pick up sekali. Alright, okay, dah kelas ni. Saya punya reminder panggil, broker panggil. Apa tu, pick up ke tak pick up? Boleh dah pick up. Okay. Alright, so how we want to actually look at it, okay? Alright, here, this is the price, right? So you have money here, and also velocity, okay? And then price, and also the output, okay? Alright, so if this increase, okay, normally this side also will increase. If your price increase here, inflation increase, right? So basically this also must increase. So it's actually like it's a direct relationship, right? Okay, because it is actually multiplied, right? Multiply. Okay. So when we look at credit and stability of financial institution here, we have credit risk, we have default, we have provision, and also we have insolvency of banks. Okay, credit risk is something that when people do not pay, okay, you have customers run away and they don't want to pay your debts. Okay, then you have default. Okay, when you have default, you have to categorize them under the non-performing loans. Okay, the non-performing loans, for example, last time when we have when I was working in the bank, Previously we have a 6 month non-perform 6 months, then only it will be categorized as NPL. But it was reduced to 3 months, right? So the NPL become bigger, right? Previously it was in 1998, it was 6 months, and then we have currency crisis. Okay, so the NPL is reduced to 3 months only. So if you have 3 months lapse, then you go to NPL. So what happens when you have a bank with a big NPL? Then many bank has to do provision. Provision, which is whether it's provision or doubtful debts or provision of bad debts, right? So it become not profitable, okay, because you already do some provision. Provision is expenses, considered as expenses. The bad debt we write off, okay, write off. So what happens here is that then bank become. So in 1998, there are many banks, small bank has to be closed, okay, because of they are unable to manage their credit risk. Okay, so last time there are so many banks. Now we have only several banks. For example, 17 banks. If I'm not mistaken, 17 Islamic banks, right? Last time was so many small banks. Have you ever heard like the names such as Ponyik Bank, right? So Southern Bank, right? You have so many banks, okay, and they become vulnerable, and sometimes they are actually being eaten by a bigger bank. Okay, they are eaten and merged. Sometimes they are merged, okay, so that they can actually. There are also ways where the government try to protect the banks from falling, from collapsing. So they actually set up a body named Dana Harta. Dana Harta, which means that all these NPLs, okay, the NPL, the defaults, okay, will be sent to Dana Harta, okay, to be so that the Dana Harta will collect the money, right? But the bank sell to Dana Harta at a discount. Okay, the loans they are sell at a discount. So Dana Harta will try to get and collect all the money back, okay? So they don't fall under NPL. So the bank, we call it net income. The income statement is not negative, lah. So it's actually bearable, because they have already transferred the bad loans to Dana Harta. It's just like a KPK. A KPK is like for personal. Okay, we are so problematic. So the banks send our, I call it, loans to a KPK to restructures and so on. Right, so like that. Okay, credit and stability of financial institution. So when you do not actually look at the credit risk, okay, so we have high probability of bank runs. Bank runs, which means that we are running out of money. Okay, people take out money from the bank, so we call it the bank runoff. Okay, and then we also have high probability of contagion effect, okay, which is actually with one bank collapse, the other bank will collapse. Okay, it's just like a dynamo effect. Have you ever played dynamo before? Yeah. Alright. Sorry, dynamo. Dynamo is the, what you call it? Domino effect. Okay, alright. So the slip of the tongue. Okay, domino effect. So you just push one, okay, and the rest will follow. So that's domino effect. All right. Then the cost of bailing out this bank, okay, we want to bail this bank, is very high. Okay, the cost of bailing out the banks, so it's high cost, right? So high probability of widespread macroeconomic consequences from instability of financial sector, because financial sector, okay, for example, KLCI, okay, there are many banks, okay, which is included in the Kuala Lumpur Composite Index. So if this bank collapse, right, you can see that the index also collapse, right? And then loss of confidence in financial intermediation, which may result in suboptimal level of savings and also investment. So when we have these financial intermediaries are not stable, so you can see that the level of savings, okay, the level of saving and investment pouring into our country will be lower, less optimal. Okay, because they don't trust in the financial sector. All right, so which is important for us to have a very stable, we call it financial institution, and also which actually depending on the credit risk, the risk management that we have to monitor. Okay, credit crunch. What is credit crunch? It's not like Cocoa Crunch, okay? Okay, credit crunch is actually basically when you are trying to tighten all your credit. Okay, it's very difficult for the bank to actually give loans to the consumers. So we will discuss this during tutorial. Please prepare your answer. What is the question? Well, the question is that what would be the effect of credit crunch to the economic growth? Right. What would the effect? What would be the consequences of credit crunch to the economy? Okay, to the consumers, to the individual, to the companies, to the industry. Okay, you can actually choose one of it. All right. Now let's look at the principle of lending. Okay, what is credit? Credit is measure of the ability of an individual or business enterprise or government authority to obtain present value in the form of money or guarantees while deferring to a definite future time. So basically, any individual, any enterprise, okay, want to get money now, and then you defer it. Payment is installment basis in the future. So susah kan nak ada punya ni kan? Simple je actually. You want to get money now, then you pay installment. Alright. Alright. Okay. And then we look at credit also. First is if we are the bank, we want to take risks. Okay, because we are departing with our money to someone that we don't know, probably our new customers or probably our existing customers, but we don't know whether their business is okay or not. We don't know whether they are still working or not. We don't know they will be continuing working 10 years in the future, right? So we are taking our risks. Okay, but we have to plus with risk mitigation, then we have risk management. Okay, so because you have risk, then only you can have return, right? No risk, no return. Okay. All right. Purposes of credit analysis. So when we want to mitigate the risk, we don't want to guess just what happened in 2008 in the US. They have what we call it the subprime crisis. You know, have you ever heard about subprime crisis? Subprime crisis, don't know? Okay. Subprime crisis is a crisis whereby the banks actually are too lenient in giving loans to the customers. Any John and Harry, okay, any John and Harry, okay, any Ahmad, Abu or what, okay, can actually get house financing, even though they cannot afford to pay. And then what do? They know that it's actually going to be a bubble, so they actually structure all these bad loans into a derivative. Okay, into a derivative of very, what we call it, complicated derivative options or something like that, right? So they structure it and then they sell it to the European banks, European countries, and then with the rating of. And what happens that when the borrowers, the actual borrowers, cannot pay to the bank, then the crisis started to burst. because the people who subscribe to the derivative say, oh, where are our money? Right? We want our money back. We want our investment, but they can't pay because the underlying assets, okay, the underlying assets are not good, right? So that's the one of the problems in the US. In the US, 2008, you can see. All right, I think I will show it to you. I am going to show you the Dow Jones Index, okay, and what happened to the Dow Jones Index in 2008 because of the subprime crisis. Okay, this is Dow Jones. All right, okay, this is Dow Jones in average industrial average. Dow Jones industrial average. Okay, so this is right now. Let's see in 2008. Okay, hold on for a while. I just take out all the indicators because we are not analyzing anything. We just want to see the graph. All right, so when is this? 2008, right? You can see here 2008, it's 14,136, goes down to 6,000, right? So this is because of the subprime crisis. And if you look at this is about, okay, how much is the, okay, this is about 114%, right? Okay, so if we do it the other round, the other way, okay, suppose it like this, it is about 58% down, almost 60%. Okay, this is happening when you do not manage your risks. The banks, what happened? It affect everybody, right? It affect the normal people. It affect also Kuala Lumpur, right? Now, what do you think happened in the US also affect Malaysia, affect the other countries? Okay, let's see. In 2000, I just remove this first. Or what happened to this? Okay. Okay. This is 2008, right? 2008, Malaysia also being affected by how many percent? Right? See, from here to here, about 48%. 48%. So this is the effect of what happening in the US happened also in Malaysia. Not because of the Malaysian bank, right? But the failure of the American banks. Why? You ask them. Because they gave loans so lenient to any customer, even though they cannot actually pay the. All right. So. Why does it affect? Because it has contagion effect. Okay, example, you look at which index you want to look. This is what I call it the Malaysia. You have what, FTSE? Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, DAX. DAX tak ada sampai 28. Okay, lain. Okay, this one. This is the UK. Okay, this is the UK. See, this is the effect of Donald Trump. Okay, let's see in 2008. Okay, where is 2008? Okay, here. See here, right? So this is also about 49%. Okay, in the UK. You want to see which country? Malaysia, you have already seen. Singapore. Singapore. Okay, this is Singapore. Okay, Singapore in 2008. This is Singapore. See? Singapore also being affected. Okay, you want to see which country again? India. Hang Seng. Okay? Hang Seng mana? See? So, this is one example. If you fail to manage your risk, manage your bank, I mean, you are giving out, so okay, because you want to have business, but still you have to have quality customers. Thailand also Thailand is, what is the index name? Thailand is Bangkok. Huh? S E Shanghai. Tapi apa? Tak, because dia pakai yang lain, dia punya ni. Apa, nak tahu Thailand juga? Shanghai lah, Shanghai. Okay, Shanghai. %73% ni ramai terjun bangunan. Japan Nikkei also. Alright, this is what happened Jepun tadi about 50 something lah kot. 60%. About 60%. So basically the effect is, see, this is what the effect of the market, and this is also happening in other countries, okay, even though we Malaysia involved. Alright, okay, so with this example that you know, which is very important, that we have to evaluate our credit risk. Azan mana tu? Masjid. Okay. Azan masjid kita kena we have to laju. Banyak lagi ni sebenarnya. So we have to break and then we continue on. Boleh ke? Petang-petang ni memang macam tu lah kan. So we will break for about 15 minutes, okay? Right, then we come back. So what's the time now? Okay, 5 o'clock we coming. Okay, 10 minit cukup. About 15. So 5 about 5:55. Okay, 4:55 ataupun 5 o'clock lah. Dan lepas tu saya kena expect. With that, we'll continue on after Asar prayer.